Released from their cage in a few moments' time. The Bradford Bulls. Stuart Spruce at fullback. Vicona, Naylor, Rigon and Price. And the Paul boys at halfback. Henry in 6, Robbie in 1, the captain. The forwards, Joe Vangana, James Lowes, Brian McDermott, Daniel Gartner, Jamie Peacock, Mike Forshaw. They're just about at full strength then. Only Michael Withers is out injured. On the bench, Stuart Fielden, Paul Anderson, Paul Deakin and Lee Gilmore, formerly with Wigan. The coach is Brian Noble. Ballyparade looking spick and span for this visit of the Wigan Warriors. Great game against their Saints on Friday. Radlinski, Dallas, Renoff, Johnson, Hodgson, Johns and Lamb. The Warriors in fact are unchanged. O'Connor, Newton, Cowie, Betts, Ferner, Farrell. The only change comes on the bench. Cassidy's there again. Francis Stevenson comes in. Wes Davis and Harvey Howard make up the replacements. Coach is Frank Endicott. Well, Ballyparade is the new Odsal for the Bradford Bulls. The old stadium being redeveloped. And this is home now for Bradford for the next couple of years. A scintillating atmosphere whenever the Bulls are at home. The noise reverberates off the high stands and drops down onto the pitch. And they love it here, the Bradford Bulls. The Bulls against Wigan. And Bradford, they are unbeaten in 3 at Ballyparade so far this year. Widnes in the Cup, St Helens famously on the opening weekend, and London Broncos 8 days ago. Match referee is Russell Smith. The crowd has taken its seats. We're ready. The coach is ready. Brian Noble of the Bulls, Frank Endicott seated alongside Dean Bell high in the stands here. Frank with the notebook. Wigan to get us underway then. They will attack in all black from right to left. Steve-O, a crackling atmosphere.
Certainly is, and both sides eager to get the 2 points. Wigan, of course, they know that they squandered their chance on Friday, had a 10-point lead. Brian Noble, the Bradford coach, realising that Wakefield played well. He knows his side has to lift for this game. I think they will.
It's one of the most eagerly awaited clashes of the season. That's a wonderful chase and tackle by Renoff for the first one on Brian McDermott. This is the second one now, and Wigan having a bit of a problem in putting Jamie Peacock to ground, but eventually he goes, lows the dummy half. It was going in front of Henry Paul. He just managed to stoop and pick it up. Now it's the New Zealand international Joe Vangana. Henry Paul again. Wide it goes to Danny Gartner. Good defence early from Wigan here.
Excellent. They're getting off the marker, Wigan. They realise that this Bradford outfit, especially the forward power, they've got to subdue them, especially early in the opening 10 minutes.
It's the last tackle, that's why Lowe's put the kick in. Underneath it is David Hodgson. And Hodgson now will launch the first Wigan attack of the afternoon. 22-all against St Helens on Friday. Wigan say it feels like a defeat. They were 22-12 up with 10 minutes to go. And that's the way Frank Endicott has used the pre-match preparation for this game. They lost a point rather than gain one.
Well, the man playing the ball, Matthew Johns, certainly we'll be looking for a big game. We just saw a couple of glimpses against St Helens on Friday, what he's capable of. But a lot of the Wigan crowd, they feel that he's yet to settle in, he's yet to produce the form that made him such a big star down under. He'll need to play well tonight, especially against Henry Paul.
This is Adrian Lamb. Angled kick, it's actually been sliced off the inside of the boot. It bounces in the field of play, fortunately for him. But it will be head and feed at the scrum coming up here to the Bradford Bulls. Just about managed to find the right side of the whitewash. Adrian Lamb.
Not the best from there. That's only 2 kicks within the game, and both have been pretty poor. It wasn't the best from James Lowes either, and it looks as though Bradford had not got themselves set up, especially when they got 2 great kickers in Henry and Robbie Paul.
1 or 2 doubts over fitness coming into this match. It's a busy time, of course, Easter, for the players of Super League. Stuart Spruce was a major doubt for Bradford, and interference at the play the ball there. Bradford have this penalty, first of the match.
Well, little doubt, little halfback Lamb just had another grab there of the big fella Naylor. Well spotted by the official Russell Smith. Big day for him, of course. The man in the middle. Great atmosphere here. You really are so close to the action.
Doubts also about Wigan's fitness. The major cloud surrounding Steve Renoff, but he was past fit to play. Has a badly gashed ear, apparently. And the other problem was Terry O'Connor, just in the tackle there with the knee bandage on. But both of them saying they wanted to play in this match. This is a game you don't want to miss. And Neil Cowie must have a problem with the left arm as well. It's bandaged from the shoulder down. But this now is Bradford Bulls in attack with Robbie Paul. Every time Robbie Paul gets the ball, it is a real buzz around the ground. The crowd lift.
Good defence, so Adrian Lamb, they spotted it out. It's interesting there to see that Matthew Johns, Adrian Lamb, they switched positions in the defensive lineup.
It was Johns doing the tackling then on McDermott. This is Lowe, switches the direction to Robbie Paul. He finds Tavita Vaikona. That was a bit flat from Bradford, and Wigan are able to close him down easily. This is the last tackle here. Last one for Bradford. They're 8 metres short of the line, and it's with Lowe who'll stab the kick in. Difficult bouncing ball, but well collected by Adrian Lamb.
Good build-up. Poor kick in the end, really. See there, it was far too long. You've got to get a little bit shallow. That was one big hit there from Daniel Gardner.
Paul Johnson knows he's on the field.
Bit of a problem as well by Paul Johnson. He was receiving spray to the rib area just before the kickoff, so he must have a problem. And all that good work there has been nullified by the flop.
Joe Wangener, the man who was penalised by referee Russell Smith, the New Zealand international Wangener, also played for Western Samoa in his career. Well, the Bulls were the victims of the biggest upset of the season on Thursday. 16-12 they lost to Wakefield. What a reverse of the 38-0 cup win just a month ago. And the Wildcats' first win against the Bulls in 9 years.
Oh, a great tackle by Henry Paul there. Shows his versatility, not just an attacking star, but certainly solid in defence. He's got such big body strength now.
Terry Newton, Adrian Lamb, and here's Cowie. That arm heavily bandaged, must be a problem, obviously. Plays the ball to Terry Newton. They come down the short side, Wigan with Farrell. A stab towards the in-goal area, and Stuart Spruce allows it to run dead in goal, despite the attention there of Hodgson and also Dennis Betts. Quickly taken by Mike Forshaw. Attack restart.
Wigan captain got up back very well, but a good work down the blind side. Wigan worked that short blind to excellence.
This is Gartner now. Daniel Gartner, only substituted against Wakefield on Thursday. So many years with Manly, and last year with the merged club, the Northern Eagles, but now plying his trade here in Super League, as is Joe Wangener.
Well, you can see Bradford throwing everything at them. They're pretty good in attack. Brian Noble was happy with their attack. It's the defence that let them down against Wakefield. He was bitterly disappointed, but gave the Wakefield side plenty of credit for their win.
15 metres away from the line now are Bradford, and in possession here with Henry Paul. Wants the start of Wigan. Henry Paul! Now the start of the Bulls. Now then, that ball came backwards. How did it come backwards? What happened? The referee will pass it on to the video referee. Vaikona thinks he scored a try.
Well, Henry Paul ducked and dived, and they spun him around. Hodgson did very well. He got right underneath him. Now then, he was trying to get the ball away. Is that a forward? It is level with the try line. This will make it a lot clearer, but this is going to be difficult. Was it reefed out? Hodgson jumps on, Lamb gets to it. Now then, is it backwards? I am going to put my 100% record on the line. I'm going to go for TRY. I reckon that went backward. The video referee perhaps will deem that Lamb got a fingertip to it, and it's play on.
It's a try, and Steve-O is not yet wrong with the video referee decisions this year. Tavita Vaikona gets his second of the campaign, and Bradford have the start they wanted.
Poor defence by Wigan. He threw the dummy. You notice there that Farrell had got it and missed him. You've got to make sure of the first tackle. And on that angle, you could see that the ball, even though it was dislodged by Lamb, he certainly got a fingertip to it. But that was poor defence by the Wigan skipper. They got the luck. Vaikona in for the try. What a start.
So Henry Paul adds the extras. Bradford are underway 6 points to 0. And Tavita Vaikona, the chief, as he is known in this part of the world, back after missing the last two and marks his return with a try. Steve-O, the video referee cannot rule on a forward pass. The referee didn't ask him to do that.
That's
it was
right.
Obviously touched by a Wigan player and play on.
Well, I mentioned the fact that I thought Adrian Lamb came right over the top, which was a shame because David Hodgson did ever so well. But Andy Farrell will not want to see that too many times, and I'm sure that Frank Endicott, the coach, will certainly pinpoint that. He went far too high, and the step from Henry Paul was superb. But you've got to make your mark in this game.
Well, a lot of people were saying after their defeat on Thursday, maybe they were suffering cup final jitters. They face Wigan today, then they travel to Hull on Sky Sports next Saturday. They really cannot allow the cup final to distract them at all.
Well, it didn't distract St Helens, did it? They came back as per normal, 10 points down, came back to shock the Warriors. Classic game, though, and this looks as though it's going to follow suit.
Yes, it has all the makings of another belter on Sky Sports from the Super League. Henry Paul, good kick downfield. It's a difficult bouncer, that, for Radlinski.
Interesting to see Henry Paul, 10 minutes before the kickoff, he was out on the paddock, and he was practicing this spiral kick that goes on the ground, and it's spinning on a sideways action. Very, very difficult.
8.5 minutes gone. Bradford with a 6 points lead. The men in black, Wigan today, in possession with David Ferner. And Ferner, well, he almost got away, and he would have passed that, but there was no one on the outside of him looking for the offload. It's with Lamb. Here now is Farrell. Cuts inside Peacock. Good tackling, though. Peacock and McDermott. Matthew Johns, the dummy half, gives it to Terry O'Connor. O'Connor offloads to Newton. He is met by Banganer.
Good second phase there. Newton in good support. Wigan looking for that offload.
Lamb with a high kick. Tester for Leon Price. No one actually putting pressure on Price, though. And the tall youngster's able to claim that ball easily.
Just drifted in the wind, slightly away from the onrushers. And as Eddie mentioned, no pressure applied to Price. They obviously feel to Wigan that he can be a weakling. He can be dodgy under the high kick. We've seen that over the past 2 seasons.
That's good tackling from Wigan as McDermott made the charge forward. O'Connor, Newton and Farrell were there. This is the way it looks head-to-head between the two since 1973. But at home, it's a different matter. Bradford have won 14, lost 12 of the home games since 1973, which is the mark we always take. It's the watershed of the game when Rugby League went back to 2 divisions.
Bit of a high shot there. Banganer didn't like it.
Neither did the crowd. They got on the back of Matthew Johns. That's not the best kick. James Lowe's just has the range slightly out at the moment.
Well, that's a second kick we've seen from the hooker. Obviously, it's the tactic offered to him by the coach, Brian Noble. Normally, it's Henry Paul or Robbie Paul taking full control. And, of course, Paul Deacon when he does come off the bench. Must be a ploy that Brian has said, look, boys lost that.
Yes, Johnson lost it. A thunderous challenge. Robbie Paul and Shane Rigon.
Well, we said there was a bit of a problem perhaps with his rib cage, but that wasn't the reason why he dropped it. It was just a good impact tackle. Maybe that Brian Noble, there's Frank Endicott, under a lot of pressure, of course. But I just get the impression that Brian Noble has told James Lowe to take the responsibility off the 2 Paul brothers today.
This is Scott Naylor now. Scott Naylor, who began his career at Wigan all those years ago, and Wigan penalised for holding down. They're trying to slow Bradford down and they play the ball.
Well, little doubt about it. Radlinski wouldn't release. You can see Dennis Betts will look like a crab at Blackpool. Not a bad effort from a second rower. Doing the crab's not easy.
It's amazing. You travel the world, you go to all the exotic places that you go to, and still you refer to poor old Dennis Betts as being a crab at Blackpool. I suppose that shows your human side, doesn't it?
Do you know there's more crabs at Blackpool than anywhere else in the world? Because they like piers. How many piers do they have at Blackpool?
Many.
Not 1, not 2, 3. 3 piers, plenty crabs.
Henry Paul then with this penalty. No problem. What a kick. Good start for Brian Noble. Good start for Bradford.
Well,
not so for Frank. He said yesterday if they come here and lose, it's a pretty grim Easter, just 1 point out of 4. If they come here and win, it's an Easter cracker.
Well, you saw the smile on the face of the goal kicker. We went straight up to the coach. No smile on Brian Noble. Now they were bossing the game against Wakefield. I'll guarantee that Brian Noble will have sent the message down, hey, listen, fellas, let's not get too overconfident. Cut the smiling out, concentrate on the game. This is no grinning affair.
Stolen, that ball was stolen. Joe Vangana appeared to drop it, but referee Russell Smith, he saw the hand in.
Yeah, Johnson.
That's a tough call, isn't it, from Russell Smith?
No, it's a right call.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Johnson got a hand to it. Johnson's right hand appeared to me. Anyway, did you see the face on Joe Vangana? Would you disagree?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Penalties are
not a
3.
big lad, isn't Russell Smith? Yeah, you're probably right, Joe.
3-1 in Bradford's favour. That's why they're in possession here, just over halfway.
Big collision there with Henry Paul and the second rower, Dennis Betts. It was an accident, but they both went nose to nose. Crash. Both pulled away, feeling for the blood.
Here's Vangana now. Thought of the offload, took the tackle instead. That's the last. Bang in front of the post, centre field. Henry Paul will hoist the crossfield bomb. This is a test for Radlinski. Oh, didn't he take it well?
I don't know why they waste their time, really. Far better suited to try to get it over into the wingers. He's just rock solid, isn't he, Radlinski?
Yes, we're well blessed, aren't we, with the full-backs at the moment and the hookers.
Well, we spoke about the contest with Wellens last Friday. Both full-backs played outstanding.
And there's another one here today, Stuart Spruce, who will have an eye on a Great Britain jersey for the Ashes tests later in the year.
Well, I've always felt that Stuart, a great attacking full-back. He has
lost the ball, Andy Farrell.
I'm just saying, a great attacking full-back, Stuart Spruce, but does have his problems with defence. Especially when someone gets into the open. Yeah, he lost it. He'll probably claim that Jamie Peacock's knee interfered, but he just lost control. Out of sorts, the Warriors.
3 wins from 5 visits to Odsal in the Super League era for Wigan. But this isn't Odsal, this is the Valley Parade. They have been to Valley Parade to meet Bradford before. April 1988, they won 14-10, and Brian Noble was actually in the Bradford pack that day, playing hooker. He's on the sideline today, playing chief. Oh, Dallas went for it.
Oh, they've both gone down. Gartner's gone down too.
But Gartner got the ball away before he hit the deck, and it's with Leon Price.
Well, full credit, Brett Dallas, he's up. Gartner's not, he's still down on his haunches.
Robbie Paul stepping his way through them, and Wigan clawing at him desperately. And Danny Gartner leaves the field. He's in problems. Peacock. What a hit that was, though. Dallas got up and bounced away, and Gartner has got up and walked away to the sideline. Here is Robbie Paul. Tried to get the ball away desperately, but he was wrapped ball and all by Newton. Lowe's a lovely little kick. Inventive, but Radlinski had read the script. And Gartner, as you can see, has got blood pumping from his head. Well, Brett Dallas is a tough nut. Dennis Betts now. Good ball, Lamb, and that was a very important tackle by Stuart Fielden just on the field. Farrell, what a run! Naylor ankle tapped him. He got the ball away though to Betts. Betts didn't pass.
Good work there by Henry Paul. The reason why Betts didn't get that away, you could see that Henry Paul was coming towards Newton.
Johns gets it away to Johnson, and Johnson spins away from Rigon and gets away from Robbie Paul, but Leon Price was waiting there.
That'll lift their spirits. That was a good move by Farrell.
It was a great run by the captain.
Good
Lamb,
job, that's it. That's
charge
down. Back to
6.
The pressure must tell now. Wigan got to keep this ball alive.
You feel they have to score in this set of 6. Farrell. Radlinski! High from Spruce. He's got him.
Well, I mentioned the fact that Stuart Spruce has a problem when someone comes at him when they're in the clear. Why he doesn't go for the legs is beyond belief. He always goes high. On this occasion, he's gone far too high. Beautiful pass from Farrell. Oh, that's a bad one. He should go for that. I'm sorry. So many times in the past. Why on earth doesn't the full-back go for the legs?
Well, the thing that might have saved Stuart Spruce, it was an open hand.
That's like going into a bank with a gun without the bullet in it, eh?
They've not taken the 2, they've run it, Wigan.
Well, that surprises me.
This is Cowie. Cowie to drive it in. They eventually go, oh, he's lost it. But it went backwards and Wigan have retained possession. It's with David Furner and Bradford now lying all over the top of Wigan. Lamb, Johns, Farrell, Radlinski, forward. Oh, that's a big call. That's a huge call.
He's not happy. He delayed it, but not to perfection, according to the...
Oh, dearie me.
No, I think he's got it right. The high shot will prove it. He hangs on to the ball just a fraction too late, because there's no momentum.
Oh, that's never forward in the memory of man.
Of course it is. There's no momentum rule because he hit the brick wall. If it had gone forward, the momentum rule would have counted. Okay, I know that referees have given him in the past, but I think our best referee on that occasion, Russell Smith, got it right. Hit. That's where there's no momentum rule, because he hit the brick wall.
I'm looking forward to the Origin games when Lancashire play Yorkshire. There'll be a real fight up here.
Why? Will Russell Smith be the referee?
No, but you and I are going to be here. This is Peacock. Well, I've seen them given for that. I have seen them given off passes like that. And nothing will convince Frank Endicott, Wigan's players or Wigan supporters.
Fine, let him up! Let him up! Quicker, Wigan!
Anyway, Bradford aren't arguing. The chip through was fumbled by Radlinski and Dallas was there to clear up.
Back off, Dustin, let him up! Wait!
This is David Hodgson now.
Talk to me, all the way back, mate!
Newton, Renoff. Well, are Wigan stung by that decision? We're at the midway point of the first half.
Well, we speak a lot about this momentum rule, or as some of the fans call it, memento rule. Certainly won't forget that one, Wigan especially, and their coach Frank Endicott. The look on his face after he was disallowed, but I do honestly feel that the official got it right.
Fair enough. It's a democracy, you're allowed an opinion. So is Frank.
Stop arguing with me.
I'm not saying a word.
You brought it up again.
Lamb, little chink over the top. Radlinski's after it.
Oh, well done. Oh, I thought the full-back Spruce just hesitated slightly there. Radlinski was storming onto him.
Oh, how did Vaikona pick that up? Oh, but he got the ball away to Henry Paul.
Dangerous stuff deep within your own quarter, but it can be effective. It can often catch the defence out cold, but that's solid stuff there. Good work from Gilmore.
Dennis, look!
Furner, should I say. Gilmore's not out there.
Robbie Paul is. Good ball to Leon Price. Good tackling back, scrambling defence, Lamb and then Dallas. Wigan's defence is now settled. Here is Peacock. Inside it goes to Spruce.
It's only a grab. Crowd thought it was an attack to the head. It wasn't.
Last one here for Bradford. Lowe's. A more measured kick, but again, straight down the throat of Hodgson.
And again we see the hooker taking control of that department. Certainly a ploy now by Brian Noble. He's obviously told the two Fall brothers, concentrate on playing rugby league football, leave the kicking game to Mr. Lowe's. I think that might change if Jimmy doesn't improve.
Well, it's almost 2 years since Bradford celebrated a win against Wigan. It was 19-2 at Oxford, May 1999. 5 games without a win against Wigan. Wigan here have the penalty.
Well, you can see lashing out there from Newton, and he certainly didn't miss Stuart Fielden. Fielden caught that boot well and truly on the head.
Harvey Howard spins into the 20-metre zone. It's Brian Noble's team defending now against this run from O'Connor. Good
what a wonderful barging run there. They needed it. Surely it'll be a dummy.
Ian is Dennis Betts. Bradford marshal their defence. Anderson is out there now. Newton, dummy half to Lamb. On it goes to Johns. Johns stabs it through. Tried to reclaim it. He was a meat in a sandwich.
He was taken out.
He was taken out. That's Russell Smith's view as well.
Nice little effort there from Matthew Johns. As I said, quite a lot of the Wigan fans feel that Johns has not hit top form. Had a problem with injury at the start of this year. We know what he can do. We've seen him in the past in the Australian games. He's a great talent. But that was a neat little chick through, and it was definitely sandwiched. Will they go for the 2? No, they're going to go for the tap.
Going for the tap with Newton, and off they go. This is Harvey Howard. Well, they have turned the chance down of 4 points here, Wigan, with the boot of Farrell. I wonder if there is a problem with Andy. Here now is Lamb. Lamb wide to Radlinski. Oh, they put it down.
No
Knocked
advantage.
forward by Johnson.
Good move though, great build-up. The fullback coming in on the arc. See how he came in on the extra man, and Johnson was just half a metre in front. That meant that he has to lean back for the ball. See how he got it there. If he was a second later, nothing would have stopped him.
Steve-o, they've spurned the opportunity of 2 kicks now in kickable positions for Andy Farrell, who needs 3 points, of course, for a personal tally of 2,000 for Wigan. That won't be bothering him, but that's 4 points gone west.
Yeah, but they've just dropped the chance of 12. You've got to take the gamble and take the chance, and at 8-0, I think Wigan felt that they wanted to get the feel of this ball. There were times in the early part where Bradford were controlling it. They wanted to just get the possession back.
It's with Fielden now. Here is Naylor. Tackled by Harvey Howard. Anderson. Anderson. Bang, bang from Farrell. Bang into Betts. And one back from Andy Farrell. Remember his run in the Cup semi-final, Paul Anderson. How will Warrington ever forget it? This is Forshaw. Forshaw gets it away to Wigan. Wigan inside to Robbie Paul. Hammered to the ground from behind. It was on the last.
Great play by Adrian Lamb. He came back and smothered there, number 1, Robbie Paul. Paul was just about to think to release a kick. And Adrian Lamb, who works tirelessly on this defence for Wigan, he's had a wonderful start to this season. Good job he was on hand. But good work by Forshaw. The build-up was superb.
Terry O'Connor now. Wigan are midway inside their own half. That's 3 tackles gone. It's good defence from Bradford. Newton to Johnson again. Cut down by Robbie Paul. Helped out by Mike Forshaw. Terry Newton. Adrian Lamb. Dennis Betts. Wigan getting to halfway and only just inside the 5. Now then, look for the kick from Lamb or Johns. A dab through. Spruce and Vicona wait for it. Vicona gets it. Good chase from Johns. Helped out by Renoff.
Good play there by Matthew.
Good play by Spruce. 2 goes to get the ball away from his own line. Vicona. Henry Paul.
Well, who would have thought that these lads out there played just 3 days ago? Fierce battles on both counts, and they really are giving it everything. They're serving up a feast this Easter.
They certainly are. Oh, Peacock! Peacock is through them! He's got Price for speed on the wing! He's past Ellis, he's past Radlinski! Leon Price will get 4! That is a magnificent Bradford try! Absolutely wonderful! Frank Endicott says there's a penalty for Wigan for holding back. The referee, Russell Smith, will have none of that. It was a wonderful break from Peacock, and Price with the try.
One of the sensations last year, Jamie Peacock, the forward stepping in and out like a three-quarter. He offloaded at the very right moment. As soon as he saw that Dallas came in from the touchline, he offloaded to the winger Price. They tried to get back. Look at this. That is a poor attempt there by Telly O'Connor. And with Betts, off he goes. Did not occur one way or the other. He went straight down the wing. Eye on the target. What a sensational try. Peacock's stepping through like a three-quarter. And Price doing what he's paid to do. Score the tries.
And a try scorer now in 4 consecutive Super League games. Leon Price, the 1999 Young Player of the Year, and Henry Paul hasn't missed one yet with the boot. Henry Paul against his former club. Oh, he's deadly. Deadly with the boot is Henry, and Bradford are 14-0 up.
If the inside senders come in, it means that Dallas has to go in into Peacock. He's circled. As soon as he commits, give it to me, boy. Bang, that's speed. Radlinski tried everything, but Price was too fast. Took the safety option. Let's make sure of the 4. They're happy. And why not? He has just scored a vital try.
He has. He's missed the first 5 of this year, but he's played in the last 4. And the man who ended his World Cup against the Russians for England last year, injured, has come back with a bang. 14-0 Bradford.
Doesn't he make an impact, this fellow, when he comes off the bench? Already his first time he touched the ball, the Wigan defence were bouncing off him. It's like a pinball machine out there. And then when the big fella Peacock just sidestepped through, outstanding stuff.
And here is Fielden now for Bradford again. He gets it away to Rigon. Rigon was an instant hero for Bradford fans when he ran the hat-trick in against St Helens here in their opening home Super League match. A match, of course, that the snow robbed us of. Francis Stevenson has only been on the field a moment and he's already conceded a penalty. 14-0 Bradford.
Pretty smart work there from Fielden. He made sure that the referee saw it, and he stood his ground, didn't he there, Johnson?
Anderson. Oh, Anderson's off again. He's like a forklift truck, this fella.
Well, every time he comes on, the place lights up. I keep looking for Elton John.
Ooh. Rigon! He's gone. Now then, this is a big decision.
Was he held?
Was the tackle made?
I have broke the tackle, that's what I'm concerned about. Have a look there, Mac.
Did he break the tackle?
Oh, I could lose my 100% here.
Did he actually break the tackle?
That's the finish.
Have a look.
It's the one before it.
And then got up, dived over. If it's a double movement, did he break the first tackle?
Johnson has him.
Oh, he's not held.
He's not held. Johnson's left him. This is try time. He misses him. And the movement is still going. This is slow motion, remember. Not real time. Well, I'm going to go for TRY, but I'm not so confident about the video referee. You see, he's gone there. He's missed him as Johnson. Well, that's quick thinking there from Rigon. I'm going to go for it. I've got to get it wrong sometime.
Well, you have, and the fixed odds people have made you 5-1 today to get one wrong. Well, I wonder if this is the moment you lose your 100% record.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, he's done it again. He was not held. He was able to carry on, and he plonked the ball over the line. Well, Bradford, they're 18-0 up, and things are looking black for the men in black.
Second effort came out on the angle. Johnson should have made sure, but what quick thinking there from Rigon. Shane Rigon, the big centre, has become a big hero in Bradford. And you see the difference between coming onto the ball at pace. That's the reason why he wriggled away from Johnson's attempt. And the Bolts running riot.
Well, who would have tipped this?
Well,
Shane Rigon. Shane Rigon, as I say, got a hat-trick here in the opening day match against St Helens. And he's the top try scorer for Bradford Bulls now. And with Henry Paul kicking them from all over the show, Bradford are on course to go top of the table, 20-0.
Long way to go yet, but this is a wonderful effort. Johnson just missing him. There was still movement forward. It was good of the referee, Russell Smith, to make sure he went for the screen, but the video referee quite clearly has seen what you have seen at home. Johnson let him slip. Look at the scoreline, 20-0.
Well, it's a long time since Wigan have been taken to a cleaners in the first half like they have been here.
As I said before, there's a long time ago. This guy, he attracts him like flies, doesn't he?
There is a long way to go, Steve-O, but Bradford are looking awesome.
They mean business. That could have been a flop there. Francis Stevenson very late into the tackle.
Rig on again. They're over halfway. They've got a couple of tackles remaining in this set of 6, Bradford. And it's with Robbie. Now it's with Henry Paul. Back it goes to Stuart Spruce. That's the last.
Big problem for Wigan is they're trying to hold out until half-time. They're shell-shocked.
Henry Paul with a good kick. It's a cracking kick.
Oh,
well trained.
Tremendous shout for the full-back. Dallas was going to get in with fear. Lindsay says, get out of the way, it's mine. That's why he's the best in the business.
Chris Radlinski got cut on the lip, maybe from that smack he got in the mouth from Stuart Spruce. Here's Farrell. He won't turn it in, that's for sure.
Oh, there's a long way to go in this game, Eddie. I don't think any ardent Bradford fan, even though they've got a 20-point lead, would feel secure.
Penalty here to Wigan. Little elbow by Naylor on Betts as he tried to get up and play the ball.
Well, Bradford are playing the ball extremely quickly. Wigan are not slowing it down. Wigan have not had that same luxury. They've got to start doing that now. Thinking quick and twisting in the tackle. Now they will Harvey Howard get up quickly.
Well, they're inside the 20-metre zone here. Can they turn some of this possession into points? Francis Stevenson cannot get the ball away. The Bradford tackling is ferocious. Newton. Johns, good ball, ran off. Just hauled back.
Good tackle by Naylor.
He had him by the shirt collar. Fielding was all over him. Hodgson's gone for it. Just short of the line. Renos, he pinched one against Saints from that sort of position, but they've gone wide instead. Johns. Ferner.
Pretty high from Anderson. Went over the top of the big fella Ferner.
Newton. Lamb. Oh, dearie me. Looked for Dallas and only got the touch judge. And Frank, you have got a problem or two.
Lamb to nobody. You could see there that Dallas and Johnson got completely mixed up. Both thought they were going to be the dummy runner when someone should have been out wide. It was a perfect pass from Lamb if the man had stayed out in the whitewash, which should have been the wing of Brad Dallas.
Right, we've got 6 minutes to half-time. Let's pay our first call to the sideline. Bill Arthur is there.
You just saw Daniel Gartner come back onto the pitch. He's had a long spell in that dressing room, having stitches inserted in a nasty gash on his forehead as a result of that collision with Brett Dallas. Gartner's got 4 stitches in there. The other worry for the Bulls at the moment is Shane Riggin, who's been limping for a while. He seems to have a problem with his right knee, but he's insisting that he stays out there. But I'm not sure that the Bulls, with one eye on the Challenge Cup final, will be thinking of doing that for too long.
Last tackle here for Bradford, and James Lowes punches the ball deep, trying to find touch. All he does is find it dead in goal. So let's go straight back to the man alongside Bill Arthur. It's Phil Clark, of course. Phil, this is not a good day for Wigan so far. Not
at all, no. That kick from James Lowes sending the ball dead. One of the few breaks in play. That's been a very, very fast game. Ball kept continuously in play. And Bradford have controlled possession very well, used their opportunities so well. I thought Wigan managed to get themselves back into the game, but as you pointed out, strange decision not to kick for goal. Tends to be the fashion in the game at the moment. Everyone likes to go for the quick tap and try and get the try if it doesn't come off, and of course obviously you regret that chance. But Wigan now keeping it alive through Newton onto Johns. Maybe they're in for something here.
Maybe so. It's with Paul Johnson. There's the first half in possession, and look at it, Bradford 62%, Wigan 38.
Well, that's the reason why Andy Farrell has opted to keep the ball alive rather than go for the kicks, because the Bulls have control this game. They've got to get some feeling of it, and they have not done that yet.
Lamb's high kick, runoff's been taken out. Hodgson's got it.
Someone was taken out. Turnover.
No, turnover, says Russell Smith. No one taken out, according to him, but Renouf certainly hit the deck.
Well, nothing there. It pulled away there. There was nothing wrong with it from Lamb. It was way down on this left-hand side as someone was racing through to support David Hodgson into that kick. Certainly was taken out. Lovely ball!
Gartner.
Just couldn't replay it. This is Renouf taken out there. You can see there Naylor definitely took a step to his left. That should have been a penalty to the Warriors.
Vicona offloads to Henry Paul, looping pass back to Jamie Peacock. And Henry Paul had moved out to the wing to try and take any possible pass, but Peacock took the tackle. Vicona, Anderson, quick hands, McDermott, quick hands on the bounce, Robbie Paul, holes opened up, Spruce, oh!
Bombed it.
Spruce drops the ball.
Dear me. Hot cross buns in the basket. Never even got anywhere near the checkout. Awful. That could have sealed it. That could have been the end of the Wigan Warriors. They would not have come back from 26-0. He knows it too.
Stay in the back, Mike. Get in fast. Get in.
Gets through some chewing gum, doesn't he, Brian?
Yes, he does. Wes Davis tries to jink inside Henry Paul, does well, finds Lamb, finds Radlinski. He gives it to Hodgson. Hodgson hits the deck. Interesting statistic about him. He's playing his 20th game for Wigan today. When he plays 25, Halifax will collect an extra £25,000 on top of the £45,000 they received for him in the first place. Good hands, good tackling though. Ferner does well, Newton, Stevenson, Davis. Wigan looking for something to half-time that they can build on second half. Newton again.
Oh, solid defence. Good build-up though by Wigan. It was a sensational tackle by Shane Regon. If there's a problem with injuries, he's certainly putting himself about still. Ball and all from Naylor. Naylor's having a real old natter as well to Radlinski. Radlinski says, what about the jaw? Naylor says, come for more. It's hotting up.
Johns, Ferner, good hands, Betts. Great scrambling defence from Bradford again on the last tackle, and Wigan 8 metres away. Ferner fancied it himself, but it was a poor kick.
Shocking kick. Frank knows it too. Shakes his head. Well, we can all see that James Lowes has been given the opportunity to look after the kicking game, but Wigan, they're all having a go at it. On that occasion, we had Ferner. He's not a noted kicker.
And Frank Endicott is not terribly happy, shaking his head all the way from his seat to the dressing room. He will want to get at the players.
And say to people like Ferner, keep your foot off the boot. We've got people out there controlling it. We've got Johns, Lamb and Andy Farrell to kick. Take his boots off him, Frank.
Here's Leon Price.
This is getting spicy.
Well, the referee said that was the shoulder, but Leon Price is down in a heap.
I think we might be just looking at the clock here. Terry Newton looks as though he's...
it doesn't matter, it's stopped.
That's what I've got, mate.
What?
And it made contact with the shoulder first. I don't really think there was any real impact in it. There's his shoulder. OK, grabbed at it. I think Price has made a real meal of it. That's good thinking. That's why he's the captain. That's why he knows the game so well. Seconds are going now. He'll be happy.
He'd be delighted. Well, Price has got blood coming from that lip of his at the bottom.
Well, he mustn't be wearing a gum shield then. That's unusual. So obviously he's bitten his own tongue. Great defence. They're up for it, for the balls, I'll tell you.
Stevenson gets the ball away to Newton. Your medical expertise now is stunning everybody. Oh, they've reclaimed it. They haven't got enough time though, or have they? This is the last play. Last play of the first half. Lowes with the kick. Davis collects. Here comes the tackle. And now here comes the siren. What a 40 minutes for Brian Noble and the Bradford Bulls. 3 tries. Henry Paul with superb goal kicking. Leon Price with one of the tries. That on 27 minutes to give his team a 14-0 lead. Vicona just before that. And then Shane Rigon. All of them goal by Paul. He's also kicked a penalty. It's 20-0 to the Bradford Bulls. And in this mood, the Bulls look unstoppable. 20-0 it is at half-time.
This Easter, Sky Sports brings you another key match.
Yes! Today.
Everton v Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. Traditionally a heated affair, Everton hope home soil will give them the edge.
Here's Duncan Ferguson!
But they'll be facing a Liverpool side that are red hot at the moment.
Unbelievable!
Easter weekend continues with Ford Monday Night Football. Today at 5:30, Sky Sports 1 and Extra.
It's been a tough week for the Harris family. In the last 7 days, we've helped them through heartache and heartbreak, lost love, found love, secret love, true love, forbidden love and hidden love, bumping, smacking, thumping, whacking, huffing, puffing, births, deaths, getting wed and splitting up, moaning, groaning, homicides and suicides, highs, lows and in-betweens, up the arsenal, down the dumper, in the doghouse, out the equation, and round the twist. They've been through it all. And this week, we'll be there to help them through it all over again.
Don't talk to me about car insurance.
When do I have time to shop for car insurance?
For great value motor insurance, call People's Choice on 0800 11 2233. It's the one-stop shop for car insurance. At People's Choice, our high-tech systems check dozens of policies from top insurers like these to find you a quote in seconds that could save you money. Any age, any car, anywhere.
That's brilliant. I'm delighted.
Everything points to People's Choice. We're here 24 hours a day, every day. Call 0800 11 2233.
Just one new Ariel Liquid Tab is all you need for brilliant cleaning. Ariel, that's another load off your mind.
Got to make the right choice. Open up your eyes. Look the way you want. Open up your eyes.
Choose your style at Specsavers Opticians.
Open up your eyes.
Variable face thickness in our new Hawkeye drivers and fairway woods is an extraordinary technology that pushes performance to the limit. We call this science VFT. It produces new levels of forgiveness, power, and accuracy. We haven't been this excited about anything since we launched the original Big Bertha. Nice work.
Next. Oh, cool. Hey, can I get mine with snakes and everything on it?
VFT technology. Now in every golf club from Callaway Golf.
Go on my side.
If you're looking to find some extra cash, there is an easier way. Switch your home insurance to Prudential by calling 0800 300 300 and you could save around £80. Hardly small change. Call us now on 0800 300 300 for a free instant quote.
We continue our 10-year anniversary celebration tonight with a look at the last 10 years of boxing on Sky Sports. So that's tonight from 9 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. And look at Frank Endicott inside that Wigan dressing room. He is giving his players the rounds of the kitchen. Happy Frank, he is called. He's not very happy right now. And why isn't he happy? Because his team are 20-0 behind on the scoreboard. And Frank Endicott is going purple with rage. Frank is furious. Wonder what it's like along the corridor. Well, it's all calmness and serenity here. And no wonder this team is ahead by 20 points to 0. And it could have been a lot worse had Stuart Spruce taken in the pass. it would have been 26-0. As it is, this is the way it looks at half-time. Vicona, Price, Rigon, Henry Paul with 4 from 4, 20 points to 0. Bradford Bulls in control against the Wigan Warriors. Well, plenty of talking points from that first half. Notably, there was the forward pass or no forward pass. There was the drop ball by Stuart Spruce, 1 or 2 high challenges. And I don't know what Steve-O has had in his Easter eggs, but something has got to him this weekend. Get in the right mood.
Working with you, Eddie. That's the right mood enough. But Wigan, they're not in the mood, are they? Bradford certainly are. Great start. Remember, Ryan Noble said that given all the credit for their loss against Wakefield, and they really were in control, Wakefield, but it was Bradford who took the lead. He's obviously sent the message down, keep it going for the full 40 minutes. They certainly built up well here. It was wonderful play from Henry Paul, but there was poor defence. Andy Farrell leading the way. Hodgson did well. Lamb was deemed to have knocked the ball away, and Vicona in for it. But it could all have been so different, couldn't it, if this pass had been allowed by the referee. Now, watch how Farrell offloads the ball. There is no momentum at all, and the ball is travelling forward to Chris Radlinski. OK, we've seen them given in the past, but because Farrell was stopped, it was disallowed. Then the Peacock break, again, poor tackling. You cannot afford to do that against the dreadnoughts of Bradford. He offloaded at the right time, and Price did everything asked of him. Again, poor defence, allowed Rigon to get in for the try. Johnson had the attempt, but look how Johnson releases him. Quick thinking by Rigon. That really was, and it really could have been all sewn up, couldn't it? Robbie Paul stepping, dancing, drew the full back. Spruce with an open run to the line. And that really could have spelt curtains for the Wigan outfit. We saw there, and it's the first time that I've ever seen Frank Endicott really get animated in a dressing room. Normally he's quite calm, cool and collected, but you can tell that he's very angry, and I think he's every right to be. They've made far too many mistakes and far too many missed tackles.
So it's not really going Wigan's way at the moment, is it? I wonder what Phil Clark makes of it all. Phil, I dread almost to mention the would-be forward pass. I mean, it didn't look a forward pass from up here. The referee had a better view of it ground level. That, I think, could be the turning point when we look back on this match, though.
I don't think one single incident ever determines the outcome of a game, and Russell Smith's more often right than we are. He's an expert, and we've commented on that in the last few weeks. But I think the Wigan players, they've just got silver medals around the necks at the moment. They're coming second best to the Bradford opponents in most departments of the game. Notably, their kicking game has been particularly poor. The ball very often going to the wrong guy on the last tackle, and they've not really been able to assert any field position or dominance down at the Bradford line. Bradford also looked a little bit more up for this game than the Wigan side. 1 or 2 guys carrying a few bumps and bruises into this game, and they're going to do it tough to come back. But I thought Leon Price, he's looking pretty dangerous on this wing, and if we're to have any chance of beating Australia in the Ashes at the end of the year, then we need a world-class winger, and he's slowly developing into that.
When you talk about world-class wingers, Phil, what about the forwards? This Wigan pack, they are being completely overrun by the Bulls. Surely get down that dressing room, give them a good kick up the backside.
Well, I think in Terry O'Connor and Paul Anderson, we've got 2 of the best props in the game on display today. But Terry O'Connor, well, he's carried a knock into the game. I don't think we've seen the best of him. And the Bradford side, well, they got a few hours extra rest in preparation for this game. Obviously, they played on Thursday as opposed to that tough game Wigan had on the Friday. But don't forget, Wigan came out and played very well in that first 20 minutes of the second half against St Helens. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do exactly the same again today.
Well, they need it. There's no doubt about that. They need it, Phil. They need a big opening half to the second half if they're going to get anything at all from this match. Now then, there's the watch that could be going home on the wrist of the man of the match today. If you can pick a man of the match performance as well, you could win yourself a couple of tickets to the grand final. 09009 10 10 13 in the UK, 15 50 92 35 56 Republic of Ireland viewers. Predict the panel's choice. The panel today is Steve-O and Phil Clark, and all the winners, of course, go into the draw to win a VIP box at Old Trafford on the big night. So something for you to be involved in there, and I hope that you will be, the Man of the Match award. Now then, as I said at the start of this part, it is 10 years since Sky Sports came on the air. We're celebrating the fact with some special programmes this week to celebrate the milestone.
That's absolutely brilliant.
It's getting better all the time. I got my wings and I can fly. I will fly to you.
Henry. What a goal! Ryan Lara has done it, the new world record holder. Fantastic! Ronnie O'Sullivan, 147. The Canyon, I do not.
And on Thursday night at 8 o'clock, Sky Sports 1, you can see the best of 10 years of rugby league, and I hope you will join us for that programme. Right.
The Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
Go on my side.
If you're looking to find some extra cash, there is an easier way. Switch your home insurance to Prudential by calling 0800 300 300 and you could save around £80. Hardly small change. Call us now on 0800 300 300 for a free instant quote.
Fantastic!
Jane got the ball, ran down the side.
When you've more important things to concentrate on, one new Ariel Liquitab is the simplest way to clean.
Ran past the defender and went for the goal.
Ariel Liquitabs dissolve completely and clean brilliantly.
It bounced off the ref, hit me in the face and went in.
And next week we'll score in the other team's goal, won't we?
Oh, yeah.
New Ariel Liquitabs. That's another load off your mind.
Can't keep hold of your style? Move on. Spray Micro Hold from new Garnier Fructus style with fruit micro waxes. Maximum holding power, ultra strong, ultra fine, non-stop control. Get hold with Spray Micro Hold from new Garnier Fructus style.
Vodafone's what? Cut. Vodafone's 192 directory service. What was it again? Vodafone's 192 directory service. Vodafone's 192.
Vodafone's 192 directory service will text numbers straight to your phone, which is great if you can't remember things.
If you need a car but can't get credit because of past credit problems, there might seem like lots of companies to choose from. But if you want a huge choice of quality used cars, fully inspected with a brand new MOT and free AA cover, guaranteed mileage and a full HPI check, affordable repayments with the loan secured only on your car, and all from a serious nationwide finance company, there's really only one choice. Yes Car Credit exclusively approved people refused elsewhere. So free phone now on 0800 085 5273. We're waiting to say yes.
Take it easy this Easter with my family feaster. All you gotta shell out is $9.99. Nobody does chicken like KFC.
They said they'd do anything for a huge cash prize.
Are you quitting?
16 ordinary civilians come face to face with 4 real-life drill instructors.
Kiss your wife right now, kiss her. Bye, hon! Hi, I'm his new pal!
28 days in hell.
A balloon sculptor? Yes, sir! Get out of my face! Ah!
Survive this.
Shut up! Nobody said smile.
The new series, Boot Camp, starts tomorrow at 8 on Sky 1.
More football football action coming up for you today, following us at 2 o'clock here on Sky Sports 1. It's a soccer special to keep you up to date with all the latest scores from today's football around the country. And at 5:30, it's live Premiership action from Goodison Park. The big Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool. Interactive coverage of that match available to Sky digital viewers on Sky Sport Extra. I'll be rushing home for that, but meanwhile it's Bradford Bulls 20, Wigan Warriors 0 here in the Super League at half-time. And this big Bank Holiday Monday crowd enjoying the high noon shootout, and Bradford more than Wigan, of course. And I wonder whether Frank Endicott's words of wisdom in that Wigan dressing room at half-time will have done anything at all for them. He was furious, Steve.
Stay behind the line.
So here we go, and it's Francis Stevenson. Now it's with Harvey Howard.
Well, I intimated to Phil Clark, didn't I, that perhaps he should go into the dressing room and give him a good kick up the backside. And they certainly need that, because the Bradford pack have bossed it.
I don't think the people heard you, Steve, when we discussed the Frank Endicott being livid and furious, but he most certainly was, wasn't he?
Yeah, I've never seen him in that frame of mind, and, well, we will see whether they will respond to it. It's a pretty tough hill to go up, but Wigan have done it in the past.
Oh, they have. If anyone can come back from a 20-point deficit, it is Wigan, but that kick was taken in cleanly by Leon Price. And if Bradford score first in this second half, you can see nothing other than a Bradford win, and Spruce was away then. It was a good tackle by Harvey Howard, who came back for a second snap and will be penalised here.
Oh, somewhat over-exuberant. It was a good effort. He got to him. Spruce was on his way. And nothing wrong with going for the second one. A lot of the crowd thought that it was a flop, but tackle had not been completed. It was just the fact that he messed around after. He'd done the good work.
Two old witness teammates there, Spruce and Howard. Here now is Anderson.
I must say, Eddie, we questioned the fact that the Wigan's discipline early in the season. Frank seemed to have corrected that, and then for all the wrong reasons against St Helens on Friday, when they were leading by 10 points, they gave away 2 silly penalties, allowed Saints into the game, and we've seen it time and time again here today.
Henry Paul stands and
that was a mile forward.
I won't argue with that.
Well done, the touch judge, and that is far too fancy, and Robbie Paul knows it. There's one thing in setting a move up and one thing in taking the mickey, and that's what they did there. And it's so wonderful to see the touch judges combining with the man in the middle. Robbie knows it, and that won't please Brian Noble. Okay, they're leading with such a convincing 20 points, but he wanted to be able to get that pressure to it. He doesn't want Wigan to get any sniff of getting back into this game.
Mick Cassidy is coming on, that's why there was the delay at the scrum. So Frank Endicott has made an immediate change early in this second half. Let's hear from Bill Arthur now, who has details of what was said or shouted in the dressing rooms at half-time. Bill.
Yeah, it was a fairly intense Frank Endicott in that Wigan dressing room at half-time, and as we saw, he was not happy, and the key word in his talk to the Wigan players was passion, because there was a complete lack of that in the first 40 minutes, and he wants that back from them. He wants them committed in attack, but also in defence, where the defence was weak, and he wants the tackles to be big and to mean something. And he pointed out the fact that these Wigan supporters, who are here in big numbers today, have travelled to see their side, and they want to see some commitment like that from them, and they want them to send them home with something to talk about.
Well, this is a good attack building here. It's with Johnson. He flicks the pass. It was on the last anyway. And who's got it? Well, Francis Stevenson has. It's a penalty to Wigan. Brian McDermott pulled the ball out, says referee Russell Smith. Penalty Wigan. They're banged onto the sticks. They're not running it this time. No one would expect them to. Or rather, not kicking it, rather than no one would expect them to. This is Radlinski. Forward!
Forward! He dropped it anyway. Well, he'll be disappointed, but he knows that everything fair and above board, and there's James Lowes. That won't help the cause. It was a forward pass, no doubt about it. Hodgson dropped the ball. Liner did mercy, but it would not have been given. Though the mere fact that Jimmy Lowes gave Russell Smith a right mouthful. Look at him there. Oh, maybe he's not giving the referee a mouthful. He's giving someone else, probably one of his own teammates. Well, I'll apologise. Oh, that's dangerous.
Right on your own line, and Wigan had to climb for that, and he looked across and said, who threw that? Price. He's away from 2, not away from 3. Let's go back quickly to Bill for the Bradford news.
Well, by contrast, the Bulls very happy with that first 40 minutes, and Brian Noble wanting his side to maintain their shape, maintain the intensity that they showed in the first 40 minutes, to keep their defence tight, not to allow Wigan a sniff of the scoreboard. What an achievement it would be for the Bulls if they could nil the Wigan Warriors.
It's with Gartner now. Yes, it would be quite an achievement for Wigan to stay scoreless in this match. Long way to go, though, as Steve-O said. Henry Paul jinking his way through them, back to brother Robbie on the last. There's the midfield bomb, looking for Price. Claimed, though, by Wes Davis.
Took it well, did Davis. Again, a good call. Shout out to Dallas, it's mine. Must be confident. It was a good high kick as well. Well, you speak about the Bradford side wanting to keep the 0 on the score sheet for Wigan. They've had many opportunities, 2 in the first half, of course, both disallowed. But that will lift their spirits, the fact that Redlinski coming in into the three-quarter line created the overlap for Hodgson. OK, it was a forward pass in the end.
It's with Cassidy now, who made the break for that movement. This is the last. Made the break for the forward pass over on that far side. Now then, Vicona to run the ball back for Bradford.
Not a bad option from Terry Newton, but Vicona read the script. He was equal to that task. It's so desperate for Wigan. They know it. They've got to put a little bit of doubt in the Bradford's players' minds and score quickly. Make them think perhaps that they're not as invincible as they think they are.
There's been a positional change out there, Steve. Wes Davis playing full-back now. Chris Radlinski is in the centre position. So
took that well, Fielden. Let's play on.
It is.
Well, again, we see far too cocky play by the Bulls, when at a time when they should be consolidating and not trying to be too fancy. You're here to win the 2 points. All right, it's lovely to see entertaining football. You tried that, telling to Brian Noble, their coach.
Well, they'd be furious if they throw this away.
Not only that, we saw a ball that went 30, 35 metres in front of his own sticks. There's time for adventure, fellas.
And there's time for Wigan to claw their way back into this match. Newton, Adrian Lamb, little drop of the shoulder. Oh, Francis Stevenson. If it had taken that, they'd have been on the board. As it is, Spruce launches in a counter-attack for Bradford.
Well, it's just not going their way. That was a forward pass. Again, stupidity from Bradford. They're giving Wigan a lifeline. Regan a metre in front in Vicona, and look at the coach Brian Noble. What on earth is going wrong here? That's not what he said to them at half-time.
Well, both coaches, their blood pressure has risen considerably since this match started. Not the best pass.
Well, we saw in the first half, Johnson dropped a sitter. Now we've seen Stevenson follow suit. The most amazing thing about this game, Bradford 20, Wigan 0, and yet Wigan in effect could have been in front, taking their chances.
There's screams for forward passes every time it goes into the arms. Carl Harrison, the assistant coach to Brian Noble at Bradford, and he's the man who's carrying the message from Brian Noble to his players. That walkie-talkie system will be red hot. Johns. Wigan have the sniff of something, you know. Farrell. Wide it goes to Hodgson. Inside it comes.
He's lost it. He reckons he's got it out. They'll go to the screen.
Newton's claiming the try.
Well, he must have the longest arm in the world if Newton scored that.
You get a good view on that last pass. I thought it was on the last one, no. One before, I thought it was all right. Last one, no.
Touch judge Frank Hawley says, try. Didn't need to refer it to the video referee. But it seemed to come back from Hodgson on that far side, and Newton was there. And look at Brian Noble now.
And they've only themselves to blame. Silly play has allowed Wigan a chance. Now that's the one that looked forward, and it did. Good work though by Redlinski. Oh, great stuff. Wonderful play from the hooker. Well, I thought he had to reach a mile to get to that. He virtually did.
Interesting though, the touch judge, Steve-O, said, on the last one, yes, on that one, no.
That was a mile forward. They've got away with it. Now, if the touch judge says yes on one and no on the other, or vice versa.
Well, Wigan are on the scoreboard now. It's 20 points to 6. And are we seeing the start of a revival from the Warriors? Have Bradford gone asleep?
Well, watch is on the line. There. And it's half a metre in front there. Now, the touch judge is absolutely level. Nothing wrong with the pass to Redlinski, nor was the one to Newton. But Newton did ever so well.
Well, he said not on that one, but on the one before, yes, if I remember rightly.
Oh, so he's tossing a coin now, the guy that waves the flag.
Well, no, he's saying the one that led to the try, not a forward pass. The earlier one, he thought it was, and the referee's obviously overruled him.
Well, I praise them for combining, but let's not take anything away from the fact that Wigan have taken their opportunity on that occasion. That's a forward pass. Now then, again, Farrell. Now, if Farrell had taken another step, it would have been the momentum rule all over again. Oh, this is slide rule stuff. I tell you what isn't slide rule stuff, though. Brian Noble, if someone had given him a gun, he would have shot 3 or 4 of his players out there. Never mind substitute them, shot them. And they deserved it.
Cassidy's made a difference to Wigan since he came on.
Well, of course he has, but he needed something to lift, and he's a man that will fight all the way, Will Cassidy. He's been around, he's got the experience.
Last tackle, that's why he got the kick in. Oh, Price! What on earth was he doing? He's coughed it back to Cassidy. They're in here again!
It's a forward pass. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that Cassidy has offloaded in a forward position. They were queuing up, there's no doubt about it. The referee has got it right, but what on earth was Liam Price doing there? It's forward, no doubt in my mind, and I'm not so sure that they got it down in the end anyway. Newton on hand. It's a forward by a mile. Well, he's not on the disco floor here. Come on, Leon. That may look good when you've got all your nice fancy suits on, but you've got to get your hands to it.
Well, you fall over on the disco where you go, do you?
Obviously, it's a long time since you've been to a disco.
It is, right? Oh, they all... Oh, right. Now what's gone on? Knock on.
Garage, you know, the usual stuff. Loft, that's new. Loft is in now.
What's that? A forward pass by Bradford, is it? Or a knock on?
Well, can we... Both sides, can we just say to them, can we just start the half-time again? Wigan won't have any complaints. You lost it.
Oh, there it is. For sure. Well, Wigan in possession then, with Johnson 20 metres away.
Bradford took the lead against Wakefield. They were cocky, they were confident. What happened? They finished up losing. They're going through the same system here.
Stevenson driving it in again. And Wigan do have the smell of something here. It's now with Lamb. Beautiful ball, they're in again.
Yep.
That is Matthew Johns. That's another try for Wigan. And Brian Noble now cannot believe what he is seeing. The Wigan fight back is underway.
He can believe what he's seeing because he knows his side are not playing safety first. They were trying to rub noses into a side like Wigan. You can't afford to. Beautiful play by Lamb. See how he just sucked in Henry Paul there. That was tremendous play by the scrum half. And the combination have clicked. They've waited a long time for this. Onto the football at pace. Johns, bang! The Warriors are back.
Matthew Johns with the try, and this kick not only important in the context of the match, but for Andy Farrell, that takes him over 2,000 points now in his Wigan career. Only the second man to get over the 2,000-point barrier, Jim Sullivan ahead of him. But in terms of this match, the 2 points and this 4, even more important than that milestone.
But what a milestone for this fella here. I mentioned throughout the first half, it's taken him a long time to get into the swing of things there. Even the Wigan fans were saying, when will the Lamb-Johns combination get into it? But he's certainly done it there. Andy Farrell adds the 2. We're in for a game. But Bradford can only blame themselves. There's time for fancy dancing and there's time for playing rugby league football.
Oh, that's bounced perfectly. They delayed faithfully, Wigan. Lowe wants to get on with it. Davis all over him. Here's Peacock.
Well, I can't believe that. I give Wigan a rap and then they fall asleep.
Bradford, 5 metres away. Henry Paul. Gardner is in. Unbelievable, this.
Unbelievable. He went so close to the dead end goal line.
Stayed in the field of play, though. Russell Smith, spot on. Gets the try. But the kick-off proved conclusive. Wigan delayed, but Bradford didn't.
Well, I went to sleep. Look at that. Davis and Lamb. Lamb, the creator of the try for Johns, and from this position, superb running. That was outstanding play. Went pretty close. Didn't matter. The short kickoff proved everything. Why on earth did Lamb and Davis allow that to bounce? Is anybody's guess. When they had the chance to get back into the game, oh, that was superb stuff. Vicona coming back on the inside. And Gardner. But look at the position of Russell Smith. He was right on the dead end goal line.
Henry Paul then's kicked 4 from 4, this for 5 from 5. 5 from 5 it is. 26-12. Brave effort this from Daniel Gardner. He's got a couple of stitches under that bandage on the top of his head now. And the party's underway at Valley Parade. And, well, Brian Noble is still, I don't think, 100% convinced. Vangana. Oh, Johnson lifted off his feet, but the ball bounces out. And Adrian Lamb now has it for Wigan. Johnson wandering round, he thinks he's in Disneyland. Oh, but what an effort from him. The ball dislodged, that's why Cowie's in possession here for Wigan. And Wigan now inching closer to the line. Matthew Johns. Back it goes to Adrian Lamb. Here's Mick Cassidy. Forshaw clutched at him and missed. And Cassidy takes the tackle, number 4. Bang under the sticks. Lamb again up. Dearly me.
That's what pressure does to you. And the hairstyle already will show you that's what the pressure does to the coaches. It's a good job there that Henry Paul didn't take that on the full. Lamb knows he's come up with a crucial error. It would have been even more painful if Henry Paul had taken that. He was away. They would not have caught him.
Stay in, Wigan, stay in.
Well, the regular first choice front row is in evidence now for Wigan.
Get up, get back.
O'Connor, Newton and Cowie.
Well, Bradford realised that this game is still not in the pocket. They've got to really start working.
Oh, there's still, as you said, a long way to go.
And Wigan will be buoyed by the fact that they've got back a real sniff of this match.
Lowe's, on it goes to Robbie Paul. Here now is Fielden. Fielden wrestles to the ground, wants to get on with it. Newton's down in back play, injured. Here is Fielden again, taking on Cassidy. Referee
wrapped it down.
Head high.
Tie.
Head high on Fielden.
Well, he's taken some knocks over the years as this fella Fielden, especially last year. Such to the point that remember Matthew Elliott and Brian Noble making well, a few strong words to the officials in regards to, you know, how much can this youngster take. And I really think it's taken its toll. He has not been the same player this season. Let's hope he gets back to well, the same level that we witnessed last year. It's always difficult when a youngster makes the big time and makes the headlines. They usually pinpoint him, pick him out for the following season, but he has taken some heavy knocks over the last 18 months.
He's taken another one there. You saw him just checking that the jaw was still working, but it offers Henry Paul the opportunity to add 2 more points to the Bradford total. This is respect. What a kicker. What a kicker Henry Paul has developed in his time at Bradford. Wasn't first choice, of course, at Wigan to kick the goals. Boy, for Brian Noble and Matthew Elliott last year, he has kicked a few. And I wonder if Frank thinks that the revival is over.
Well, if you just come down from Mars and you had to ask them who was the winning coach or who was the coach of the team that's leading, you couldn't have got any clue from that, could you?
Barrow's kick off, and it was taken out of the arms of Danny Gartner by Stuart Spruce. At the midway point of this second half, a quarter of the match to go.
Well, I think everybody here at the ground has got their hearts in their mouth because every kick, every pass, they're expecting something unusual rather than the norm.
19 minutes to go then. Wigan, they fluttered briefly the thoughts of a fight back. I wonder if the fight back is still on the mind of Phil Clark on sideline for us today.
Well, I'm sure Frank would like to think that his words of wisdom did have some effect, but I feel it's more the lethargic approach that Bradford took into the second half, although, hang on a minute.
Robbie Paul's away. Robbie Paul has turned Davis. Robbie Paul to the line. We'll get there.
Yep.
Turned over on his back by Hodgson.
He'll go for the screen, though.
It was a beautiful dummy, but they're just checking the grounding.
Oh, did he lose it?
No, he's got it all the way.
Oh, I'm not... You know, I think he loses this just before it, and Hodgson, actually, the momentum pushes the ball back into his hand. This is going to be very interesting.
That's a try, Steve-O. No doubt.
Okay.
And I'll give you 5 to 1.
I'll go your way.
Try it is.
You've saved me. You've saved me. My bacon is gone.
Well, a little wry smile from Frank Endicott. Robbie Paul, though, with the try. And surely that is it. But it's Wigan and Bradford we're watching. Robbie Paul with the try, that's for sure. A great break. 4 tries in his last 4. That's 5 tries on the bounce now. And brother Henry to add another 2 points to the Bulls' total. Not a problem from there. 34-12.
So often the sleeping giant, Robbie Paul. But Phil, when this guy wants to put the step in, he's got all the skill in the world, hasn't he?
Well, we saw a similar sidestep in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup, just unstoppable. Despite Hodgson's attempt, he also has the pace to go with it. When he gets through the hole, he has backed himself, looked for support, makes it over the line. Great individual player.
No chance there, Phil, for Wes Davis. A great try, individual skill.
Sure is, but short kick-off now, possession back to Wigan.
It's one way and then the other this match. 34-12. You would say, with 17 minutes, Bradford should go on and win it. But we're watching Wigan. 2 quick tries. It's back on again. And here is Ferner.
Defence, that'll be the key. Brian Noble have got that message out. And also, stop being stupid. Respect possession.
Matthew Johns. Lamb back on the inside. Davis! Davis scores!
Yep, he's got it down.
Oh, the
Oh, has
referee
he?
hands it on again.
He'll go and have a look.
Just have a look at that, Mac. See if he got it down, Mac.
Beautiful inside pass there. Davis came like an express train. Spruce goes underneath. And does he? Yeah, I think he's got it down. Pretty difficult to tell. Depends on the size of the hands of Stuart Spruce. Davis kicking on. No, that'll be try time. He's got it down there. Pretty hard to see, but I'll give the attacking side the benefit of the doubt. Spruce does well here. And then, yeah, that'll be down. Couldn't get his knee underneath. TRY.
Try for Wes Davis. Non-playing sub in the last two.
Got to hand it to them. Eddie said, 2 quick tries, it's on again. Oh, that's a super move, isn't it? That was again created by Adrian Lamb, and the dummy runner coming on the crisscross. Watch for the dummy, he goes inside, and then the second runner coming on the second phase. Well-worked move, they've worked out at training, and it has paid off. Super stuff.
Well, Wes Davis was a substitute in the Odsal win last year for Brett Dallas, who went off with a broken jaw. And he missed much of the season because of that. Farrell adds the extras. It's not over yet, you know. 34-18.
That was a beautiful scissors intertwining. Excellent stuff.
Wes Davis, 23 years of age, grandson of the legendary Billy Boston.
Well, when you take into account the missed opportunities for Wigan, 2 in the first half, 1 just after the restart. It's
Good
a big
chase.
ask.
Good chase at the kick-off by Bradford, that though. 09009 101013 UK viewers, 1550 92 35 56 Republic of Ireland viewers. Your votes now, please, for man of the match, and 2 grand final tickets up for grabs for whoever is out of our computer first today. Man of the match might show himself in the next quarter hour. He might wear black. It's one of those games.
Well, the one man in the Wigan side who really has impressed me throughout the entire game has been a halfback, Adrian Lamb.
Here he is again.
He's worked tirelessly, both in attack and defence. That's a great kick too.
Yes, they'll put the scrum down. Bradford will get head and feed, but Wigan will hunt the mistake now.
Under pressure too. Made sure that the fullback Spruce, no chance. Just playing the percentage game, knows that if they can sort the defence out, apply the pressure, maybe the Bulls will come up with that mistake. They've come up with a few so far in the second half. That's the reason why Brian Noble, their coach, was agitated.
Well, Lee Gilmore is here now. He's up against his former club. He was with Wigan last year. Made the journey to Bradford. Henry Paul, another former Wiganer, gives that ball inside to Rigon, and here now is McDermott.
He's had a fine game too as the big centre Shane Rigon.
It'll be a difficult choice, a man of the match today. Wangener is tackled by Cassidy, and Cowie could have been penalised there for second helpings. Henry Paul! Oh, what a break! Still has Fielden with him. That's good scrambling defence from Wigan, that.
But Fielden's played the ball quickly. You can see the defence all over the way. But Lowe's has gone the wrong way, has he?
Yes, Gilmore is trapped.
He went into the heavy traffic. Missed opportunity. Brian says, get that one down.
It's the turnover. It was on the last. Lee Gilmore got up and played the ball, but it was the handover because he was caught in possession on the last tackle.
How many times do you see both the Paul brothers? They just slow the game down to their own pace. It's as though they stand still and then just explode. One step and they're away.
Oh, that was brilliantly taken. Brilliantly taken by Lamb, and on the fly he passed it to Johnson.
It was well taken by Johnson as well.
It was.
That was bobbling around.
O'Connor. playing his 150th start for Wigan today.
Well, the scoreboard attendant, he won't be going home. I think there's still some more points here.
Last one, good defence from Bradford, restricted Wigan to their own half. Lamb with the kick under pressure. Now then, Price out of the sunshine, clutched easily this time. Steps inside Radlinski, tries to brush away from Johns and does. Gives it then to Vita Vaikona.
Good play by Price.
Here's Wangenaar.
Now then, one more drive. Surely the Bulls will do that, and Vendel has gone from dummy half. Now they'll create the link. Henry Paul streaming for the ball out wide. Will he get it?
There is Henry. On it goes to Forshaw. Releases the ball to Peacock.
Haven't seen many runs from James Lowes from dummy half.
Still haven't. That's Anderson. Still Anderson. Remember the devastating performance Bradford put in the last 10 minutes of the semi-final. Drop goal from Henry Paul.
Yep.
Sails over. 35-18, just to rub a little more salt in his old teammates' wounds.
Super pass there from Jimmy Lowes. Straight off the floor, bang, look at that. Gave Henry Paul all the time in the world. Execution superb. But the man playing his part also was the dummy half, Jimmy Lowes. Like a rocket straight from the play the ball area. Any youngster watching wants to get the ball away from the ruck area. That was superb.
Short kick off. Price underneath it. Price over the line. Good tackling by Dallas.
Well, it's always a possibility. Surprises me that clubs don't try this more often. Let them take it. And we'll take the head and feet at the scrum. Still plenty of time for more points.
Wait. Getting quicker, lads, come on.
There is time for more points. We've got 10 minutes remaining here. And here is Matthew Johns. He tried to go round Spruce. Spruce stood his ground, and with help from Forshaw, the tackle's completed. 10 to go. Cassidy. Betts. Back to Cassidy. On to O'Connor. On it goes to Stevenson. Cassidy. Adrian Lamb. Oh, brilliant! What a try! What a fantastic try from Adrian Lamb! Oh, he's not given it. He's handed it on. He wants the video referee to check obstruction.
Well, there's a little bit of attempt there. Francis Stevenson really went into Brian McDermott, but I don't think for all the world that Brian McDermott has the speed to have gone anywhere near the fella Lamb. I'm going to go for TRY. But that was a fine effort, wasn't it? Beautiful dummy. I'm still 100%.
You're still going well, and Adrian Lamb comes up with 4 more points, and Andy Farrell's already lined up the kick.
Super play. Look how he just clinks back. That was poor play. That was not the best defensive effort there. 4 short, out wide. It was stood standing. Brian McDermott left a half gap for this fella. What a match.
Points galore, 35-24, 24 for Wigan's second half, 15 for Bradford's second half. Frank took comfort from the fact that his men won the second half on Good Friday. They're winning the second half here, but at the moment they're 9... No, they're not. They're 11 points away from getting the draw. Still, it's 2 converted tries and it's a victory. What entertainment we've had on Sky Sports this Easter weekend. Thursday night, Warrington for an hour against Leeds, 36-6. Good Friday, the draw at JJB between Wigan and Saints, and now this here at Valley Parade. 35 points to 24, and next weekend, well, it gets just as good. Warrington St Helens Friday at 7:30, and then on Saturday, Hull against Bradford. And Hull, the team that really is threatening the Big Four this year.
Well, Frank Endicott, the Wigan coach, said, I want more pride, more passion. Well, the players have done that. They've responded to him.
Johns hoists the kick. It's a test of a Price again. Price. Well, Wigan are hunting something. They know it's a 2 converted try margin and they get victory.
Well, the Bradford players more content in complaining to the referee, saying Wigan's offside. Get on with the game. You control it.
Still not finished, is it, this?
Nope.
Anderson again. A human battering ram.
I'd pay 50 quid to watch this guy every week.
Robbie Paul nearly away again. You pay.
All right, fiver.
Rigon. Lowe's. Crossfield kick over the top. Oh, out on the full.
Well, that's been his job all day. And maybe the tactics have worked. Right on the line, and that's out.
So it's the turnover in centre field. Cassidy.
You know what they say, whitewash, clean, clean, clean out.
Oh, right, Stevenson, Betts, Lamb, been magnificent. Ferner, away from McDermott. Bradford are getting tired. Well, if Wigan score now, look out.
Well, it's had everything, hasn't it? I mean, naturally, because of the fact that they've played 2 games within 4-day period, always the last 10-15 minutes was going to take its toll, but full credit to them. Both sides, they will not throw the towel in Wigan, will they?
They will not, and here's Davis. Offloads to Cassidy. Cassidy back it goes to O'Connor. Here is David Ferner. It goes wide on the bounce to Dallas. Dallas is away from 2, 3, 4, so not the 5th. Shane Rigon finishes him off with help from Price downstairs. Long pass. We're going to try to stretch this Bradford side. Betts flicks it back. Farrell over the top. It's Johns. Here's Stevenson. Johns again. Johns then wide to Johnson. Robbie Paul got to him. Last tackle.
Absolutely outstanding rugby league football.
Great kick. Great kick from Johns. Oh, it's bounced. No, it hasn't.
He had it.
He's offside. Gilmore's offside. More pressure. Quick tap. Long to Lamb. Lamb attacking the line. Johns. Back it goes to Cassidy. Oh, 5 metres short. Lost it. No, penalty.
Penalty again. He was interfered with. More pressure for the Bulls. Again, the Bulls are more content arguing with the referee.
Wigan get on with it. Lamb, wide to Farrell. Farrell takes the tackle. Here's Radlinski. Radlinski to Betts. Betts to Stevenson. Great scream of forward from the terraces. Referee says, let's get on with it.
Good tackle from Peacock, had to be. Betts is going.
He's found Johns. Oh, poor pass. Poor pass from Matthew Johns.
Well, that's the only mistake. They can put the figure down to Lambs. It wasn't the best. He was just going in front of it, and there's a reaction. He knows it's all over now. This is up your jumper time. A lot of the Bradford players, they're down in their haunches, they're killing time. Substitutes. Lowe's is going off. Looks like Deacon's coming on.
Yes, Paul Deacon comes on. These headgear this year are getting nattier and nattier. Look at Deacon's, and we've already seen Mick Cassidy's.
Looking like the zoo.
4 minutes to go.
Talking of which, some big hits. Quite a few animals on display.
Wigan are hunting the mistake, though.
Well, Bradford are going to just close this down.
Well, you would think. Anderson.
He'd have done well in King Arthur's time, wouldn't he? They'd have just put 4 wheels on him and just run him straight at the drawbridge.
Here is Peacock. Robbie Paul. Henry Paul under pressure from Ferner. Was played at that by Hodgson.
Good play though.
Yes, he managed to pick it up and give it to Davis. 3 minutes to go. Wigan anxious to get on with it.
Great effort, not only in the pass but in the support. Went into dummy half, got vital meters forward.
Lamb to Stevenson. Stevenson has to take the tackle from Deacon.
I'm going to say Stevenson's worked hard this second half. Wigan have, they had to. It was a poor performance in the first stanza.
Farrell, wide it goes. This is Hodgson.
Ooh, brick wall time. Pretty tough home break by Kona.
Johns and Lamb. Stevenson.
50-50. Crowd don't like it.
Referee looked at both touch judges. They both shook their heads.
Oh, he's lost it. That'll be a knock-on, and Francis is none too impressed.
And that should be it. I think the two coaches know it.
Oh, he does.
Number 6,
Simple mistake. Simple error. Of the jumper time and the long kick and chase. That is the plan, or should be the plan by the Bulls.
Well, still the Packs are forward scrapping for everything.
That's interesting to see one of the Pauls into the hooker, because he has played there internationally, of course.
Oh, there's the mistake. There's the mistake. Dallas. Spruce is flat out, and Dallas is in touch. Well, there's a problem for Stuart Spruce.
It was a big hit. Spruce should have really made sure of getting the ball. Just winded. The play there, you could see it was the loose leg or the knee of Johnson that came in rather late. Accidental, of course.
And Spruce takes his place now in the back line as this scrum forms. We're in the last minute here. Now, to Bradford, or indeed the Wigan, have anything else to show us in the last 60 seconds of this game. Referee wants the scrum to reform. It wheeled.
Both sides looking very tired.
They're worn out. Anderson. Oh, bang, bang, crash.
And Wallop.
No, it's Wallop any minute.
It might be.
Nearly.
Oh, Anderson went looking for Farrell.
20 seconds remaining.
Only the handbag was missing then. It was well and truly on.
Robbie Paul, a scampering run. Paul Anderson, surrounded by black jerseys. Maybe the time for one more play the ball.
Nah. Well, they will be.
This is the last play of the match. Well, he didn't find touch. Dallas, last hurrah for Wigan. Now, all over. That's it. Bradford have won. It has been an unhappy Easter for Frank Endicott and the Wigan Warriors. But for the Bradford Bulls, they have come back after their defeat against Wakefield on Thursday and have beaten Wigan by 35 points to 24. Great effort from Wigan's second half. They won the second half, but the match won by the Bradford Bulls. 35 points to 24 in front of nearly 17,000 people here at Valley Parade. And Bill now is going to talk to the man of the match. He's been chosen from the losing side. It's Adrian Lamb.
Adrian, congratulations. There's the man of the match, the watch that goes with it, but a great second half performance. You just left yourself too much to do, didn't you?
Yeah, we did, and disappointing to finish. We asked the team to get 20 points that we needed in the first half, and we got that, but they seemed to score a couple of tries, more than we planned in the second half, and probably from that lucky bounce off the kickoff, mix up between me and Wes, and that was it, you know.
What went wrong in the first half? You were just really flat, weren't you?
Yeah, I think they had the bounce of the ball go their way. Everything went their way, it felt, and we said, you know, if we're going to let them get 20 points, no more, otherwise it was going to be too hard, but it was hard there in the end, but, you know, credit to the guys. They dug in deep towards the end and nearly came home with it.
Anyway, congratulations on man of the match. Thanks, Adrian.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Great, tough.
Still to come today, following us shortly here on Sky Sports 1, it's a soccer special to keep you up to date with all the latest scores and results from today's football from around the country. At 5:30 there's live Premiership action as Everton take on Liverpool. The Sports Centre is at 8:30 and the Sky Sports years, 10 years of boxing, is at 9. And over on Sky Sports 3 now, there's live basketball from the playoffs. Chester Jets against Leicester Riders and Birmingham Bullets against the London Leopards. Now then, on Good Friday, we brought you a memorable Super League match between Wigan and St Helens. Here now, the highlights of the games you haven't seen so far on Sky Sports with Bill Arthur and Rod Studd.
Pre-season dark horses Hull made it 9 points from 5 games after disposing of Halifax at the Boulevard. The win was once again inspired by the Smiths, 2-try Tony and playmaker Jason making the difference. The Blue Sox were still in the game until the final 10 minutes thanks to tries from Daryl Cardis and Paul Davidson, and Steve Linnane would have harboured hopes of a first win as Halifax coach. But the early birds always had just enough in hand. Matt Crowther, Tony Grimaldi and Adam Marr on the try sheet, and next up the acid test against champions St Helens. The thriller at the Jungle, and another win for fast-improving Salford, who came from behind 3 times to stun Castleford, who'd led early thanks to Dale Fritz. By half-time, the Reds were 12-8 up after touchdowns from Francis Maloney and Nick Pinkney, and the tit-for-tat scoring continued in the second period as the Tigers edged into an 18-12 lead, before 2 quick tries from Warren Jarrett and Maloney with his second gave Salford a 24-18 edge with the clock ticking away. But there was time for one late twist. Darren Rogers scored for Castleford against his old club, and Danny Orr needed to convert to earn the Tigers a draw, but he missed, and Salford had won it.
This time the London Broncos built up a lead and managed to hold on to it, more than Giants winger Ben Cooper did. After Steele Retchless had put the Broncos ahead, Cooper's fumble allowed Jim Dimmock to score. Tony Martin converted both tries to make it 16-0, but the Giants threatened a fight back when Apo and Lomax scored. It was 18-12 at the break, but the Broncos galloped away with it in the second half with tries from Roy, Gillette, Hetherington and this one from Fleming.
It was Good Friday. This is Easter Monday, full time here at Valley Parade, and the Bradford Bulls have won a famous victory over the Wigan Warriors. 35 points to 24 it was the final score. Terrific win for the Wigan Warriors in the end, for the Bradford Bulls in the end. A great performance though from Wigan in the second half. They had to dig deep, Steve-O, they had to show some pride, and they did.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it's a good performance by Wigan in the last 40. The big problem with Bradford, of course, they got off to a flying start, and yet they look tired. OK, both sides tied in the last 10-15 minutes. Credit to both sides for go full 80 minutes. But in the end, Bradford just had enough firepower in it, but it was individual brilliance that got them there, not team spirit. They have to learn to work as a team and sometimes to control a game. They were far too fancy when they restarted in the second half, although they had a 20-point lead. There are times when you just control it, and I'm sure that their coach, Brian Noble, will make sure that they will do that in the future. You must control the tactics out there.
So a good win for the Bradford Bulls. Next up for them, of course, it's Hull. It's on Sky Sports, but Martin Hall of Portsmouth, he has won the Man of the Match competition amongst the viewers watching at home, and he's off to the grand final at Old Trafford on October the 13th. Bradford, Wigan, Saints, Hull, Salford, Leeds, could be any of them in the grand final. Phil, but that was a gutsy effort from your old Wigan teammates in the second half.
Yeah, great effort to come back and score so many points in the second half. It just underlines the fact that they were poor in the first half and give themselves too much to do. Interesting times now for Wigan. Will Frank Endicott ring the changes? Wigan have one of the biggest squads in Super League, and maybe that competition for places is something that one or two of the guys need to bring the best out of themselves. And I'm looking forward to see what lineup they put in the next game against Huddersfield on Friday night.
Yes, it's a busy time, isn't it? They've got to back up on Friday against Huddersfield, the Wigan Warriors. But we will be at Warrington for the game against St Helens. Join us on Sky Sports 3 at 7:30. Sky Sports 3 at 7:30 for Warrington and Saints on Friday. And then Saturday morning, 10:30, live from Toyota Park, Australia, the Sharks and the Warriors. Saturday, 10:30 on Sky Sports 2. And Saturday night, Sky Sports 3 again. What a match this could be. It could be top against second if Hull win against St Helens today, Hull and Bradford will round off the weekend. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your Easter. We have certainly served up some fantastic entertainment from the Super League. From us both, goodbye. With Henry Paul, wants the start of Wigan. Henry Paul, now the start of the Bulls. Peacock is through them. He's got Price for speed on the wing. He's past Allen, he's past Radlinski. Leon Price will get more. That is a magnificent Bradford try. Henry Paul got and it's in. Unbelievable this. Robbie Paul's away. Robbie Paul has turned Davis. Robbie Paul to the line.
Car insurance has just rocketed.
Call People's Choice now on 0800 11 2233. We'll find you a quote in seconds that could save you money.
Discover the unique flavour of Extra Winter Fresh, an icy blast of mintiness that leaves your breath totally winter fresh.
Cambridge 0, Swindon 1.
Can't you do it somewhere else?
5, Swansea 3.
Shelley.
Notts County 2, Northampton Town 0.
Just one more home
Reading
win.
1, Peterborough 1.
Another fiver down the drain.
What's this?
HSA. Maureen next door's on it. Got cash back on her ingrowing toenail. Helps pay for dental, optical. There's no medical to take either.
I could get some designer glasses. What about some designer teeth?
Don't gamble with your family's health. It pays to be with HSA, whichever way you look at it.
It covers acupuncture too.
Call 0800 08 54321.
Record Quick Vice does everything a vice can, anywhere you want. Record Quick Vice. Where will you use yours?
Submission. New at Alton Towers.
I've got the right.
I've got the right.
I've got the right.
Have you got the right to buy your council house?
Regency Mortgage Corporation specialise in assisting council tenants to buy their council house and raise extra cash for home improvements, even if you've had a poor credit history.
For your free quotation without obligation, call Regency on 0800 298 9988.
Don't go cracking up over cooking. Take it easy this Easter with my family feaster. 8 juicy pieces of chicken, freshly prepared on the premises, and all the extras. I've even cracked dessert, too. I'm throwing in 6 Cadbury's cream eggs. So if you're juggling your life, whoop, drop everything and head on down to KFC. Whoop. All you gotta do is shell out $9.99. Nobody does chicken like KFC.
Hello, want a low-cost loan at your convenience?
Whatever you want 800 to £15,000 for, call Lombard Direct on 0800 2 15,000.
Our rates reflect your circumstances and our typical APR is just 9.7%.
I've just got us a great deal on a loan.
For an unsecured personal loan of 800 to £15,000, just call Lombard Direct now on 0800 2 15,000.
4 years. Mom. Jack and I got married within 6 months of meeting each other.
Oh, no. You're not still seeing her, are you? You've been wanting to get out of this relationship for years, and now the mother speaks of marriage. You must do something drastic, my friend. Make a pass at her father.
On the hill, you remember?
Go on. Just give his knee a little squeeze. Excellent.
Well, I expect you think this is old-fashioned nowadays, but it looked absolutely lovely.
Oh, dear. Feed the tango inside.
Coming up at 5:30, Everton against Liverpool. Live only on Sky Sports. Live and interactive only on Sky Digital.
Collymore closing in! Liverpool lead in stoppage time! Kevin Keegan hangs his head. He's devastated.
Celebrating 10 years. This is Sky Sports.
Manchester United are the champions as Arsenal crash at home to Middlesbrough. It is over at the McAlpine Stadium and Fulham are promoted. But who goes the other? Some of the decisions by the end of the day today. My panel with me this afternoon, Charlie Nicholas, Steve Coppell, Frank McClintock, and a very welcome return for Mark McGee. I'll refrain from saying congratulations just yet, Mark, but well done on how well it's gone so far for you, at least. A couple more wins should see Millwall safely promoted. He won't be talking about it this afternoon, I'm absolutely sure. Let's tell you about what's coming up on Sky Sports' various channels, shall we? Right now, of course, we're here through until 5:30 this afternoon on Sky Sports 1 and skysports.com TV, and at 5:30 on Sky Sports 1. The Mersey Derby, Liverpool go to Goodison Park. Not a happy hunting ground. They haven't won there since 1990, but need to today to enhance their European ambitions.